What you're looking at here is impossible. It's legally impossible for a corporate body to sign a piece of paper. Okay? The act of signing a piece of paper requires a hand to pick up a pen. And a corporate body has no hands to sign anything. A corporate body's name should only appear in print. Okay? The solicitor, Lauren McCusland, picked up a pen and signed the name Mason Hayes and Kearns as a solicitor, as the practicing solicitor who has entered an appearance. So Lauren McCusland took on the form of a limited liability partnership. Now, I don't know any law that allows that. This person here is a practicing solicitor. She ought to have assigned it in her own name as a solicitor of Mason Hayes and Kearns for the first name defendant. That's traceability. What you're looking at here is fraud. It's a criminal offence under Section 25 of the Criminal Justice Theft and Fraud Offences Act, 2001. Pure and simple. Another worrying Memorandum of Appearance we have here is for the Minister for Justice. Now, there is no law that allows the Attorney General, there's no law that allows the Chief State Solicitor's Office to represent the Minister for Justice. Under Section 6 of the Ministries and Secretaries Act, the Attorney General has the power to represent the several ministers of state, right, of the Executive Council. So, for the Chief State Solicitor's Office to be engaged by the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Justice would have had to ask the Attorney General first, and then the Attorney General would have had to delegate that responsibility then to this office, to this assigned office, which Maria Brown, who has 1, 2, 3 different signatures. Okay, so it's obvious that there's people in her office signing her forms in her own name, and I doubt that she's gone down to the central office delivering these into the central office. There's many solicitors in that office that could have signed this. Maria Brown isn't just one solicitor. She's the Chief State Solicitor, but there's plenty of state solicitors that could have did it. This is a possible act of fraud as well. If there's no evidence that Maria Brown delivered this into the central office in her own person, then this is an act of fraud as well, because these are legal documents. These aren't just signing birthday cards. These are legal documents. Now, I'm going to have to ask the High Court for full transparency concerning all of this. I need to find out first what law allows Lauren McCusland to act as a limited liability partnership, and who in the court services instructed Mason Hayes and Kearns. Who in the court services, instructed solicitors out of Mason Hayes and Kearns to do this? And what person is authorised to make those instructions, and under whose authority? The court services go back to the Court Services Board, which is run by judges and solicitors. So we're going to do a lot of digging up here now. And likewise in all of these things here concerning the Chief State Solicitor, I'm going to have to find out who in her office authorised this, who in the office of the Garda Commissioner is authorised to instruct the Attorney General who then has to instruct the Chief State Solicitor's Office. So that's the way it goes. It goes the Garda Commissioner, the person in the Director of Public Prosecutions Office, the person in the Irish Prison Service, contacting another person who works for the Attorney General. These are human persons now. And that person has to be authorised to accept instructions of this person. This person has to be authorised, if the case may be that it's not the Commissioner or the Director themselves, has to be authorised to act on behalf of the Commissioner and the Director and the Prison Service. And then this person has to be authorised to act on the Attorney General, and this person then has to be authorised to contact a person working here. So do you see what I'm getting at? I'm going to find out the individual people involved in all of this stuff. I don't need the legislation anymore. All I need to do now is go hunting for the civil servants working within these offices in the government. And you can bet your bottom dollar that what's happening here right now in the High Court of Ireland is criminal in nature, criminal behaviour, right? Because nobody wants to stick their own name down on these legal documents. And as for this person here, Helena Kelly, or Helena Keeley, who works for this purported office, right? The Chief Prosecution Solicitor's Office that doesn't exist in law. I'm going to have to find out exactly what's this all about. So this is the executive arm of the state trying to digitalise and corporatise what are human acts. And when they detach the human from the paper, in their world, they're not accountable for what they do. Whilst at the same time, okay, and this is where it becomes very stark. At the same time, they attach us to charge sheets.